The power of three has quite possibly got to be one of the most effective strategies you can use to actually get them funded. And this particular one has a 72% win rate. It's time-based, it's mechanical, and is very easy to follow. It is literally a step-by-step plan. Now, in today's topics, I'm going to be taking you through the exact directional bias of how to figure out where the market is actually moving. Then I'm going to take you through the step-by-step strategy in just 5 simple steps. Then eventually we're going to look at the trade qualities. What's the difference between a high quality and a low quality setup? And then eventually a live case study to actually put this all together. And if you stick around to the very end, I'm going to show you the exact entry confirmation that took my win rate from a 40% win rate to 70% in the last 3 years. So stick around to the very end. Now, let's get straight into it. Now, the first thing we're going to take a look at is the directional bias, accumulation, manipulation, and distribution, also known as the power of three. Now, as you know, for smart money to actually move price in an intended direction, it needs to manipulate in the opposite. So what do I mean by that? As prices continuing upwards, we essentially need this manipulation towards the downside to eventually continue upwards. Now, there are a few ways we can actually get higher quality setups, and it comes down to these 2 factors over here. Number 1, if we get a manipulation around liquidity, or number 2, if we get manipulation around a supply or demand zone. But pair these 2 things together, and that's when you're going to get a higher quality setup. Now, the next thing we actually need to consider is how does this relate to time and price? Well, it all comes down to this daily liquidity theory. Now, in theory, with an engulfing candle towards the upside on the daily or even on the weekly time frame, we should be seeing something like this, where typically we'll get the open of the day around this area. Price will start to consolidate around here. Eventually, we'll get the low of the day, which is projected to be in our London session. And then at that point, once we get the key confirmations towards the upside, that's when we can start to look for price moving upwards. Now, most of the expansion is going to happen in New York, which can be quite difficult to enter at times. So the key thing is, can we actually catch the low of the day? Now, for us to even predict if price is moving in this particular direction, how do we even get that understanding? Well, we can actually do it in a few formations. And this is where we look at the previous daily candles. Now, what I usually like to look at is 3 main factors. Number 1, what type of market condition are we in? Is it expanding? Is it consolidating? Or are we actually reacting to a point of interest? Supply or demand, any sort of liquidity being swept? And then finally, do we get an engulfing candle, an indecision, or a rejection candle? Now, these are the types of formations that typically work. One example is when we see 2 daily candles engulfing one another. So this one continued up, the next one engulfed the previous one. So what we expect at this point is simply for price to do something like this. The next formation is going to be something where price actually has a mini reversal. So it slows down for a short while, we get this nice rejection candle, and then eventually price continues up. The next one is going to be where we actually get a pause in price. This little inside bar is actually going to be completely irrelevant. Essentially, what we want to see is price then engulf afterwards. So it's kind of like this actually becomes negligent and price is just continuing up. That's when we expect price to push upwards. Now, I will say this, when you've got 3 daily candles preceding one another, this is typically where we're going to get a slowdown in price. And the reason why is because price does not move so aggressively all the time. Now, think about it. When we've got a weekly expansion, what days do we typically see where price actually moves very aggressively? We see it on typically the Tuesday, the Wednesday, and the Thursday. Monday's pretty quiet. Friday is an off day where some sort of news comes in or maybe it actually reverses on price. So remember, 3 days in a row, and I need you to be very careful. Now, on the flip side, we can also see not only continuations, we can also see reversals as well. So we can actually use this in the same type of idea. So starting off from the lowest quality, this is where we get 3 daily candles pushing up, and then eventually price actually has this little rejection candle and we expect price to move downwards. The other example is where we sweep liquidity. Price has a lovely rejection and we expect something to do something like this. The next one, which is medium quality, is we get the sweep, liquidity, and an engulfing candle as well. So all 3 things. But the best type of setup for a reversal is going to be this. And it honestly comes once in a blue moon. So when you do see it, act on it. We get a sweep in liquidity, rejection candle, engulfing candle, And then that's when we can actually start to see price moving. But also another addition is this point of interest over here. So we've got 4 confirmations that we can actually stick to. Now this right here, if you genuinely stick to these 3 formations in the engulfing continuation setups, and then these 4 formations when it comes to the reversal, I'd recommend screenshot this right now and actually use it for your playbook right now. By the way, guys, just a very quick one right now. If you are looking to get funded with one of the top prop firms at the moment, then honestly, I really think you should give Ola Prime a little look. The main reason why is not personal preference, but genuinely they have been outstanding. Now, if you don't know who Deloitte are, they are essentially the biggest auditing firm in the world. They audit trading companies, they audit multiple institutions and businesses. And one thing they have officially audited and confirmed is they have 0 payout denials. Plus, they actually pay out with a rate of 98.3% within 1 single hour. Now, I know that their average is around 30 minutes, but they're broker backed. They've got some of the best deals at the moment, no hidden rules. And if you actually check it out, this challenge over here, which is that 1 step, 1 challenge, as they like to call it, you can actually get 45% off with the code FAST45 at the moment. Now, I don't know how long this is actually going to go on for. So for you to actually claim this entire thing, click the link on the screen at the moment right now, or even the link in the description, and actually use that code at checkout. So guys, good luck on this challenge, and genuinely, you have actually a prop firm that has your back. Okay, so now that we've understood some of the context behind the strategy, let's actually look at the step-by-step process of how it works. Now, step number 1 is the simplest. We simply wait for our Asia range to form as a tight consolidation. Then from that point, we move on to step number 2, which is we have to see a sweep within 1 standard deviation away from our Asia range. So what do I mean by that? If our Asia range was around 20 pips wide, typically what we'll look for is around the same as well. So if we take this as our reference, we will only just stretch it out to this extension over here. So we have to look for price to enter around this level. If it moves past 1 standard deviation, this is typically where you're going to see a downturn in price action. And that is exactly what we actually want to avoid. The next thing is we look for a fractal change of character on the lower timeframes. So what we mean by fractal is we don't need a change of character above this level over here. Instead, it can be a recent lower time frame high. So this was the last lower time frame high that led into this point of interest over here. Therefore, we must simply wait for a change of character over there. And that is when we move on to step number 4, which is our golden confirmation. Now, typically what this is an engulfing candle that moves away from our pullback. So we see a change of character, a pullback, engulfing candle away. And in just a second, I'm going to show you a few examples of exactly what this looks like. Then our final entry, or our final step in this process, is going to be the liquidity on the imbalances to aim for. So typically what I like to look for is something like this, where we've got really open price action. There's probably some sort of supply zone around this level. So eventually I would expect price to slow down around this area. Now, in terms of our break even, we would simply trail our stop loss at every single appropriate level. So if our stop loss started around this level over here, typically what I will do is I would wait for continuous breaker structures upwards. So as it breaks this level over here, I'm going to push it at this point. As it breaks another level, I'm going to push it to this point, and again and again. Now, typically with this entire strategy, it does go to around that 3 risk to reward take profit. However, there are times where it actually goes to around 5 risk to reward in total. Now, to show you some examples of what this looks like in real life, what I've actually got over here is my full PDF that I've given for completely free. If you do want access to this, it's 48 pages. You can get it in the link down below. It will be sent into the Telegram group. But let me just most importantly show you what the strategy actually looks like in real life. So just to give you a few examples, step number 1, step number 2, and let's actually annotate over this as well. You can see over here, we've got step number 1, sweep, change of character, pullback, engulfing. Again, another example. Sweep, change of character, pullback, engulfing. And this happens just over and over and over again. And we've got so many scenarios, and this is why it's been tested over years of data. And this is all you need to see. So if you want access to this, click one of the links down below and you'll get access to it for completely free. Okay, so now that we've understood the strategy in a lot more detail, we need to start exploring what is the difference between a high quality setup and a lower quality setup. And it comes down to two main things. Number one, what is the context looking like? And number two is that final tip that I'm going to reveal at the end of this entire video. So make sure to stick around up until then, because I'm going to be revealing it at that point. And genuinely, that is what took me from a 40% win rate to around a 70% win rate. Now, the first thing, the context. Generally speaking, you want to stay on the side of where the market direction is heading. As you can see in this example, this is going to be considered our primary low, primary high, primary low, primary high, and then eventually price is starting to pull back. So naturally, if we are looking for buys, we are ultimately going to be getting into higher quality setups. But does that necessarily mean that we only have to enter buys? No, of course there are going to be opportunities even on the flip side. But just note that these are always going to be lower quality. So as an example, this one over here is against the higher time frame. It's also against the lower time frame as well, or the medium time frame. It hasn't fully had the change of character towards the downside. But only when we see a proper change of character down over here, that's when we can consider this a medium quality setup. Now again, another medium quality setup is trying to enter literally right at this demand zone over here. Why? Because we haven't fully seen a medium time frame change of character. But only when we see this demand zone being held up, the change of character and the pullback, this is when we see a high quality setup. So if you want to enter the highest quality zones, always wait for the higher time frame to align and the medium time frame as well. And naturally, we're going to be executing on the lower time frame. Now, just to give you a bit more context of what this looks like in detail, I've actually broken down everything over here step by step. So take a screenshot of this exact slide over here because it's going to explain it to you in way more detail. Now, the last thing we really need to explore is how does this strategy look like in the live markets? So let's get into a live example. So now time for the live case study. As you can see in this example over here, the first thing we're going to be observing is the daily structure and the two previous daily candles. Remember, if you take it back to the start of the video, the daily candle structure is one of the most important things. As we can see, the previous one over here completely engulfed all of this recent price action. So what I would be expecting at this point is for price to actually have a little pullback and continue all the way towards the downside. And now transitioning to the 5-minute time frame, these, if you remember, are going to be our 5 key steps. Number one, did our Asia range actually form as a tight consolidation? As you can see, compared to recent price action, it is pretty tight. Price hasn't really moved much. Yes, it has trended, but that's actually going to be okay. The next thing is then we're going to be looking for one standard deviation away from our Asia range. Now we must align this all the way up until our London time zone. So if we actually put that timing over here, it's going to be around this area at this point over here. So as soon as we reach this level, that's when our London key zone actually hits. So now we're actually into our London timing. All we simply are going to be looking for is, did we sweep Asia highs? In this case, yes, we did. The other thing as well is, was it within one standard deviation? Of course, as you can see in this example, it's now actually swept. So we then move on into our third point, which is the lower time frame change of character. So for us, the lower time frame that actually pushed price over here would be considered at this level. So as soon as we see this break, that's when we're going to be interested for our sells. So let's just see as we actually start to zoom into price action. Let's see how that actually looks. So we get price moving towards the downside. We get a nice engulfing all the way past here. So all we're simply going to do at this point is literally wait for the pullback and then our entry. So for me personally, I'd be looking for a typical pullback around this level over here. So now we have literally just touched this supply zone. All we're simply going to be looking for is our golden confirmation during the key time. And as you can see, this has literally aligned from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning. So all we're simply going to be looking for is a strong engulfing away from this actual zone. So typically when I see one engulfing candle looking like this, I won't usually enter. I'd like to wait for one more candle that pushes away nicely. So as you can see, this candle right here is literally going to do it for me. All I would simply do at that point is put the stop loss just above this level. Take profit, I would always enter at 3 risk to reward. And as you can see, it actually pretty much aligns with this little demand zone right at the bottom. Now, we can actually take this even further, all the way down to this lower time frame low over here. But remember, like I said, 3 risk to reward is the most optimum area we do for our take profits. Now that this is actually entered, all I'm simply going to be looking at is trying to move my break even as soon as possible. So let's see how this actually turns out. Price starts to continue already as it's moving downwards. Again, hits 3 risks to reward. So all I will do at this point over here is I will take around 75% partials. Then I would extend this to around 5 in total. So that is going to bring us, in fact, right to the bottom of this market structure. So everything is actually pushed at this point. I would also navigate my stop loss to over here, this high. I would even possibly push it to this high over here, as we had a tiny bit of a pullback and then a push down. So let's just see how that actually continues. And there we go. Full take profit, literally hit at 5 risk to reward. Now, for those of you actually wondering, this is the exact setup that's happened. When was it? Literally the last week. So if you look up Thursday, the 18th of June, it has literally just been one of the most recent price actions. Now, for those of you wondering how well this actually performs over a long period of time, we've tested this over years of data. As you can see, every single trade has been tracked from start to finish. Again, some medium to high quality setups, some low quality, some completely high quality. But the overall thing is over here, it has a 72% win rate with hitting at least 20 risk reward on every single month. Now, if you guys actually stick to this, you are genuinely going to see some sort of success. Now, the last thing that I promise you guys, if you did stick around to the end of this video, is that key confirmation that took my win rate from a 40% win rate to 70. So well done for those of you who have actually stuck around to this entire thing. Now, this is exactly going to be it. And it comes to the decision making when it comes to this exact entry. Sometimes what you actually see is there is a very strong demand zone being formed around this level. So what you will typically see is not exactly, so let's actually map it out. As price is continuing, it moves down like this. So let's actually push this all the way over here. This is honestly the key thing that actually made the difference for me. So we've got our Asia range over here. We've now got our London session kicking in over here. We've got our change of character at this point. So what is the key difference that many of you actually don't understand at this point? And it comes to the execution. At times, you may feel the fear of actually entering at this point. And let me tell you how that actually comes in. Sometimes there is a bit of an imbalance above. So you're not exactly sure, okay, is the stop loss going to be moved upwards all the way here? Now, what I typically do is something like this. I wait for price to continue down just a little bit more, give us again a slight little pullback, and then another engulfing candle downwards. Now, this engulfing candle should actually clear this lower time frame structure over here. So what that typically means is our lower time frame is actually going to be a bit later on. However, this is going to massively reduce the amount of losses that you enter. The only thing you have to be very sure of is that you can position your stop loss to break even as soon as possible. And honestly, as long as you can actually stick to this, genuinely, you're going to see massive, massive improvements. So the difference is, rather than entering a straight engulfing candle towards the downside, you're going to be entering a pullback, push down again, pullback, engulfing. So it's this extra little bit of confirmation as compared to this engulfing candle over here. So guys, if you have enjoyed this entire video, please remember to actually click this over here, which will take you to the video where I fully break down this entire thing and backtest it right in front of you. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next video. Guys, take care. I'll see you then.